Hey y'all, today I just want to talk a little bit about one of my Japanese classes today. So, this semester I'm taking two Japanese classes. As you probably know from my last videos with Robin, I'm in Intermediate 2 classes this semester, and I'm taking like an integration grammar course and then a separate speaking course. By speaking, I mean conversation. The title is Kaiwa, so conversation. And on Tuesdays, I have Kaiwa, conversation, and on Fridays, I have the class with Robin, so the integrated Bumpo grammar course. And so my class last Tuesday was conversation, and it was really interesting. So I just want to talk about how that went. Um, we had to do this thing called Bibrio Battle, which she introduced it to us. It's apparently a competition type where Japanese high schoolers will they have a limited amount of time and they have to introduce like a book that they've read. It's kind of like a speech competition, except the goal of the speech is to get the viewers interested in the book that you're introducing. Not just interested, but like the goal is to make them want to also go buy and read the book. And so it's this type of like speech competition thing. And so she was like, okay, you guys are going to try to do this. That's going to be your assignment for the week. And so we were tasked with, because now we're in the age where we're not reading books like that. Like, I mean, maybe some people are, but that cannot be guaranteed if we're not in school being forced to read books like the high schoolers. So she was like, it doesn't have to be a book. You can choose a movie or a film that you like. And so I honestly haven't even watched so many films recently because I've just been so busy with life that I don't watch TV shows. I'm not watching anime. I'm not watching movies. Like, I'm really not doing a lot of consuming content these days because I'm trying to just like keep afloat in my own life. But I was home last month, like within the last 4 weeks, I was taking a break at home in America. So I had time to like do all those things I just mentioned. And so the most recent movie I had watched was Wicked, and I was like, okay, I'll try to write about Wicked because that's literally the only film that like I've seen recently. So I was gonna do that, and that was like the first week she tasked us with this thing, and I was like, okay, I'll do that. And then I spent like 2 minutes thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know any of these words. How do you say the good witch and the bad witch? Like, I think which word do you even use for witch? Like, maybe it's majo, but like, is bad witch like akumajo, or is it like waruimajo? I don't know. I was like literally the most basic words. Like thinking about this is giving me anxiety. So at the end of the day, I didn't end up doing the preparation for the assignment because I was just like, it was too much. I was like, this isn't happening, and then I couldn't think of any other movies. Long story short, I did not do the work. I did not prepare for class. And then class comes, so this is last Tuesday, and she puts us in these groups, and we're supposed to talk about like the preparation we did, right? A biblio batoru. Like we have 3 minutes to try to convince the people in our table, like why they would want to like watch the film we're introducing or read the book we're introducing, right? That's the whole point. And so, because our class is kind of small, she split us up into three groups of four. So four of us would give our 3 minute presentation, and like that's how it went, right? We didn't have to stand up in front of the class, thank God, because once again I had done no preparation, and so I was like a little nervous. I was like, I hate to be the person bringing down the group, but y'all, I did not do the assignment, so you guys go first. And in our group, we had two people who like had prepared, and then there were two people who hadn't prepared. So I wasn't the only one who didn't do it. Thank goodness. Um, so I felt like less bad. But because we were in small groups and she'd given us all this time, like she would notice if if our group just suddenly stopped talking like only halfway through the time. So I was like, okay, um this is still speaking practice. Um the thing that's important to me at this point, like, cuz I feel like some of y'all are probably thinking like, why are you such a bad student? Like, do better. I'm at a point in my life where I'm taking classes, like the education I'm doing is like actually to just be for my own benefit. Like I'm no longer taking classes just to get grades, like to get good grades and pass and just like do what I'm told. The classes I'm taking are because I'm interested in them and like I don't care about the grade so much. It's more so like actually trying to acquire the skill, right? The skills I'm learning in Japanese. Actually learn them and learn how to implement them at my own level, like where I'm currently at. So doing the homework isn't like such a big thing for me, but getting everything I can out of what I can put into the class. So when I'm in a lecture, like paying attention, um, learning, like hearing what she's saying, trying to use that to fill the gaps in my knowledge, practice speaking, like that's what this class, like I can still get so much out of that. So not doing a homework assignment is really not something I beat myself up over. I'm past those days. I'm not in high school anymore. I'm not in undergrad. Like, yeah, long behind me. So just some context for those of you who may also be like straight A, excellent students like I was in the past, and just this is giving you like anxiety listening to this. There's some context for you. um, so the two people who actually had prepared their assignments, like they went first and they did their presentations. Um, and then, so me and the other guy who didn't do the work, um, I know that my speaking level, like I'm more comfortable in Japanese than he is. So I offered to go next because it's really hard to really just whip up something on the spot or just like talk freely in Japanese when you're not at that level yet. And I acknowledged that. So I was like, okay, let me give him some more time to like think about what he may want to say. So I'll go. So it gets to me. I've done no preparation, as I've told you before. And I was like, all right, I guess we're winging it. So I grab my computer, I do a quick Google search, and I turn around and I'm literally on the Wikipedia page. I'm like, this is the movie that I watched this past weekend. Lucky for me, I had just watched an anime movie with, funny enough, it was Robin, and we were watching like anime. And there's this movie that I had seen that's on Netflix that I had watched like maybe 4 years ago when it came out. Oh my goodness, 4 years ago when it came out. You guys have probably heard of it if you're into anime and you have Netflix. It's called A Whisker Away. And so we rewatched it again for the first time in a long time together. So I really paid attention because it was my second time watching it. And we are Japanese nerds, so we didn't use any English subs. Like obviously, we let it play in the original Japanese, and then we added like Japanese subs because like this is who we are. We're always studying, and so not only did I have the context of the movie, like what happened in terms of like I don't know my English brain, right? Like I know what's actually going on, but I have the context in Japanese in my head because I was listening to it and then confirming what was happening with the subtitles. So, like, a lot of the words that they were using that I would need to describe the movie were already in my head in Japanese. So I had thought about that for like 2 minutes. I was okay, maybe I have the foundation of vocabulary necessary to just like whip this out. Like just be able to talk about this for 3 minutes, get this assignment done with. So I literally just pull up the Wikipedia page for the A Whisker Way, and I'm like, all right, y'all, I did not do the I did not do the homework assignment. So what I'm gonna do is this is a movie I watched 2 days ago, and I'm gonna talk about it just like on the fly for the next 30 minutes. I'm so sorry if it's a train wreck. Here we go. And so that's literally what I did. I just obviously in Japanese because it's a Japanese like conversation class. I just like let my thoughts spill out of my head about this movie for like the next 3 minutes, and somehow like it made sense. They understood me. The Wikipedia page photo was enough. They were really interested, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds fun." And one guy, he's like, "Oh, I've seen that movie. I really like it." And so, even though like I was like, "This is gonna be trash," like this is supposed to be a whole presentation that I did no work for. Um, I'm at a level of Japanese now where I can like do this where I'm just like I mean I couldn't with Wicked, right? Like I have my limitations. Wicked, a movie that was in English, like entirely in English, not like it was not even Japanese audio with English subs. Like everything's English, so I don't have the foundational vocabulary necessary to like just talk about this on the fly in Japanese. So that's like a huge limitation for me. This was a Japanese movie that I only watched and listened to in Japanese. So I have the vocabulary there. Um, but still, like, so this is what I was alluding to earlier with the, oh, I didn't do the homework assignment and I'm not really sweating it because, like, I'm able to, like, match the resources in the class to help me improve, like, in the way that I see fit, like, kind of thing. This is one of those things. So I would never just try to, like, talk about a random movie for 3 minutes, um, like, in my house by myself, like, or to my friends. This is not a thing that's required. It's not a thing we're doing. Um, so that's not a skill that I've ever tried to exercise. But in class, it was an assignment. She gave us the time. I was in a group with 3 other people. It would be awkward if I didn't. So I had to really, like, pull that out of me. It's like, okay, here's something I've never tried to do. I feel more confident in my speaking ability, so that gave me the confidence to try it without a script and without any preparation. So I was still able to get, like, the experience from doing this bibliobattoru, like this kind of short, fast speech competition about like a work, right? Even if I didn't do the homework. So that was really good practice for me, even though it was only like a 5 minute thing. So after the 3 minutes, then she gives us 3 more minutes or 2 more minutes to answer the questions of your audience members, your listeners, about your presentation, and then you move on to the next person. So maybe like 3 to 6 minutes of me talking off the top of my head in Japanese, trying to like fish for words, trying to like be like, does this make sense? Look at their reactions and be like, okay, they need some more context here. Like, that's something that's practice that's really helpful for me. And in the end, it was really fun. Obviously, it would have been better if I had like actually done the work before, and then I could have written a better script. It would have been more coherent. I would have had practice writing, just more time doing the work. But all that to say, I still got a lot out of this. So that's how that went, right? And then after that, the fourth guy who also didn't do the assignment, we let him wing it for obviously his time as well, and then we were done. And that ended, and I was like, all right, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Like, I thought it was going to be a total train wreck. It wasn't, so that's exciting. And then, so when it's over, she's like, okay, now we're going to vote. I'm like, why are we voting? Because I guess the actual, like, bibliobattoru that the high schoolers do, like, speech competition, she showed us on YouTube. There's videos on YouTube of them, like, with real cameras, like, a big old venue. Maybe they're national, like, nationwide competitions. It's, like, an official thing. And so, obviously, that's a competition they're doing. There's a winner. Like, I guess somebody gets a prize. And so, we didn't think we were going to do that. We were just like, oh, we're talking to each other because this is Japanese class. But she's like, okay, now we're going to vote. So, it became a real competition. And she was like, okay, so for each person, you're going to vote for not necessarily who was, like, the best speaker, like, the most Jozu or the most advanced whatever, but you're gonna vote for the person whose speech made you want to like read the book they presented or watch the film they presented. So basically, which one was able to instill the most interest in you. That's the person you're gonna vote for. So she was like, when we're talking about a certain speaker, they're gonna close their eyes, and then everyone else on the table is gonna raise their hand if you want to vote for that person's speech. And so we did that around the table, so 4 votes. And then the teacher, the professor, she would like write down who voted for who at like each table, so who had however many votes. And then when that was over, she announced the winners. And guess what, y'all? At my table, I was the winner. Which is absolutely absurd because the context I gave you is crazy. Like, I have no prep, winging it, real techie toe. Like, I just really was not, I'm not that person anymore. The do the most, be perfect, get straight A's, do everything, teacher's pet. That's not who I am. I'm just really trying to survive in this life and like enjoy Japanese in the process. So I was really shook, y'all. So 2 people at my table voted for me because you can't vote for yourself. And then I voted for the first girl, and then I guess somebody else voted for somebody else. So I got the most votes at my table, and that's not even it. So I was like, that was already exciting. I was like, okay, cool. I'm glad you guys understood, because my main concern was like, is this gonna be coherent? But I guess it was. And after that, she was like, okay, so the winner's like, I have prizes for you. Come up. And she had bought these cute little like cookies. Let me show you. I have mine. Give me a second. Yes, this was my prize, y'all. This is the prize I got for winning the Bibliobatteru. And I kept it all this time because this was last week's class, just to show it to you. And I hadn't filmed the video yet, so I was like, there's no way I can eat it. So yeah, she had 3 of these in different colors. I think they came in different flavors. There was this one, a pink one, and a white one. I really wanted the pink one, but like, you know, you can't just go up there and be selfish in front of the class and be like, I want this one. Yeah, everybody's Asian. You have to follow the rules of politeness. So I let the other girls choose first, so somebody else took the pink one, and then I had this. So yeah, that was like very exciting and very unexpected. With no preparation, I won the little speech battle in my class and got a whole prize. I got a whole present. This does not happen, y'all. Like, I've never gotten something like a real gift from Japanese class, especially for winning. So yeah, that was how my conversation class went last week, and it was super exciting. So that's what today's vlog is about, and I hope you found that story exciting or interesting. That is all. Thank you for listening. I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, mata ne. Bye.